A couple seconds so everyone can migrate in from the waiting room. We're going to get started now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unlocking Retirement Benefits and What It Means for Your Business, brought to you by BCG Securities, Association Member Trust, Focus NJ, Manufacturing Counts, NJBIA HR Support, and New Jersey Business Magazine. I'm Katie Whitcamp, Business Development for the New Jersey Business and Industry Association, and with us today is James O'Donoghue of BCG Securities. James is a fiduciary financial advisor with a focus on retirement plan consulting. He helps small to mid-sized companies initiate, review, and manage their retirement plans. He focuses on 401k and 403b plans and specializes in the Multiple Employer Plan, or MEP, EANJ Retirement Advantage Program, assisting Employer Association of New Jersey members and NJBIA members. A few housekeeping matters before we get started. Today's webinar is being recorded and will be emailed to you along with today's presentation, so be on the lookout for that. I'd also like to draw your attention to the questions tab. James would be happy to take your questions, so get them in as they come to you via the questions chat box. So now, without further ado, James, take us away.
Thank you, Katie. Hello, everybody. I know we don't have a huge group today, and I'll try not to take up too much of your time. As Katie mentioned, I am the fiduciary financial advisor. I run the 401k program for NJBIA and their members. I've been working with them for about 7 years on this particular program. I've been working with NJBIA the last 2 or 3 years, and it's been quite a success. So a few things I want to touch on briefly. I'll go ahead and share my screen here because I know a lot of the questions that do come up initially have been pertaining to this New Jersey Secure Choice Act 2.0. Now, this act was passed in 2019. I just had a meeting with the governor's office last week regarding this and the implementation. So I want to touch on this real quick before I get into the NJBIA program, just as an overview. So it passed in 2019, like I mentioned, and starting June 30th of this month, notices are going to go out to all businesses in New Jersey that have 25 or more employees, letting them know about the program and the new mandated requirements to offer a retirement savings account. All right. So if you have 25 employees, you've been in business for 2 years and you don't offer a retirement plan, you will be signed up for the New Jersey Secure Choice Act. So you'll have the option to sign up for that. There will be penalties if you don't, as you can see here. So they really want to encourage folks to have a 401k or a retirement plan offering for their companies. And the government's really starting to push this and penalize companies that don't offer any type of retirement savings. So you do have some options. Option one, you can obviously sign up to the New Jersey retirement program. You don't have an option to match or control anything that you're doing. The state runs it, but you will allow your employees to be able to save into some type of program that way. Option two is you could start your own 401k through any company that offers it. Your payroll company or anywhere in the third market where you can find a 401k offering. And option three, you can offer a 401k plan through NJBIA. So being members, and we'll discuss this in a little more detail, being members of NJBIA allows you to access significant price and fiduciary protections reduction on 401k plans, right? Because you're part of NJBIA, you get those very large benefits of being a member of such a large organization. So you can have your own customizable 401k, but take advantage of the purchasing power of everyone in the program. So there are a lot of tax benefits today, and these are credits, not deductions, for starting a 401k plan. So you can take a full tax credit of up to $5,000 if you started a retirement program. And you break that down over the first 3 years. So really that covers the cost of running a 401k plan for your company for the first 3 years. It's essentially a wash, which is great. And I can be happy to go into more detail with that if you like. So here are some of the rules for the Federal Secure Choice Act, and again with the state. So the concept and the idea of it's really the government is very strongly pushing to have 401k and retirement plans for all small businesses. They recognize there's a significant retirement savings crisis in this country and in New Jersey especially. And they're doing everything in their power, from tax credits to mandating these accounts being offered, to encourage small businesses to offer these programs for their employees. And we're here more specifically just to touch on the NJBIA retirement program. It's specifically created for New Jersey businesses, right? So we started this with New Jersey businesses specifically in mind. And it comes at a much greater value than you'd be able to receive if you went out and tried to start your own 401k through any other outside or 401k company. And we can fully customize it for your business and exactly what you're looking for. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about the cost savings and everything here as well. And all this information is, of course, at njbia.com. And I'll get into this a little bit more in this slide as well. So if you have any questions on the Secure Choice Act or anything that pops up there, don't hesitate to type in or ask any questions. All right. So the New Jersey retirement savings crisis, which is what we touched on. So we obviously know about the Secure Choice Act. It launched in 2019. It's going into effect in a month, and you'll start receiving letters. This is the real reason behind it. All right, there is a significant retirement savings crisis. There are a large percentage of Americans who don't have any type of retirement savings at all. Over 30% of folks have $0 saved for retirement. And these are folks in working age, right? So relying 100% on Social Security, and I hear this all the time, it's really not a very powerful tool to retire. Social Security was only really meant to supplement 30 to 40% of your income. The remaining should be coming from pensions and retirement savings accounts. So it really is becoming quite a crisis as older folks get to retirement, as pensions are no longer a thing. What are we going to do, say, for retirement, right? Where is that money going to come from so folks can live comfortably? And as business owners, it's also very important to have a retirement offering for your companies, not only for retention and for recruitment, right? A lot of young employees want to work for a company that offers a retirement savings account. But studies after studies have shown that offering a retirement savings account is a significant cost saver for companies because it allows your employees to retire with dignity and retire at an appropriate retirement age, which actually minimizes the health insurance costs that the company would have to pay if their average employees are able to retire at a normal retirement age in hopefully their mid to early 60s. And as I mentioned, Social Security was only ever meant to provide 30 to 40% of your income. Well, the Social Security Trust Fund is due to run out of money in less than 10 years at this point, 2034. What this means is if there's no significant change to the laws, then Social Security benefits will have to be cut by 30%. Right, so all those folks retired on Social Security, counting on Social Security benefit, will see a 30% haircut on their income. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. I'm hopeful that well, I don't know how optimistic I am that Congress will make any changes, but someone in Congress is going to have to change some regulations because we can't allow that to happen. It will mean a reduction in Social Security income over time, though. Right, so it will delay Social Security age when you can take it, or minimize the raises that you get every year, and it will increase taxes for folks that are working. But relying on Social Security alone is really not an attainable retirement savings strategy. Okay. I also bring this up because there are a lot of folks, especially women, who are lagging in the retirement savings space. Right? Women generally don't have as much retirement saved as men, and that has a lot to do with, over time, women would take some time off to help. I wouldn't say take time off. I would say work full time in the home, but they're not able to stash away for retirement for those years that they are staying home with their children. Right. Today, believe it or not, Gen Z is the top retirement savers, and Gen Z women save more money than anyone else. So young women are the top participants in 401k retirement savings plans. However, they have the least amount of money saved. And it's prophetic from what I've seen. When I speak with them, they notice and recognize that their moms and their aunts and grandmothers never had enough retirement savings on their own. And they encourage them, hey, when you start working, you need to start saving as much as you can, because it's important to have your own retirement money saved for yourself, right? Not relying entirely on spousal's retirement accounts, spousal income, especially because women live longer than men, right? So almost a quarter of women have less than $10,000 saved for retirement. So it's really, again, that's what these employer-sponsored plans are great for. Anyone that works for your organization is able to save. And from my experience, in my opinion, walking through this with everybody, and the thousands of employees in New Jersey that participate in this program, young women actually save the most amount of money. There are a lot of headaches to run a 401k plan, right? So there's a reason not every company offers it. There's a reason the government's forcing people to have it, because as small business owners, sometimes it's a bit of a headache to run and operate a 401k plan. One, you have to do tax filings on it every year, right? You have to file 5,500 taxes. There's also some fiduciary responsibility, right? You're in charge of picking the funds, running the plan, making sure that the fees are appropriate, choosing the right investment options. And then company 401ks often get audited either every year or every few years, depending on the size of the plan. So if you're part of the NJBIA program, this multiple employer plan, through NJBIA, it eliminates a lot of these issues. So as this was created specifically for small businesses in New Jersey, we recognized and we tried to decide what were the biggest headaches when it came to running a 401k plan. And we found that these were the four number one options, right? And we've created this to eliminate or totally mitigate some of these problems. So if you're part of the NJBIA program, we file the 5,500 for you. You don't have to do any taxes. You don't even have to sign off. You're removing the fiduciary responsibilities of running the plan. So, and I'll touch on this on the next slide. All the investment options, the filings, the reports, the notices are no longer your fiduciary responsibility. They're taken over by the NJBIA Board of Directors and BCG Securities as the investment fiduciary monitor. And they monitor all the funds and investment options along with participant education, right? And I'll touch on that as well. And then finally, as expensive as it is to sometimes run a 401k plan, depending on your company size, the costs are drastically reduced, and much of the cost is eliminated if you're part of the NJBIA program. So this is really a very significant benefit for all NJBIA members if it's something that they're looking to do. I know this is clogged up, but you'll get a copy of this presentation emailed to you, so you can dig in further about some of the services that this 401k offers. And this is through the multiple employer plan. So I touched on the fiduciary protection, right? All this means is you're required by law to offer an appropriate plan and make sure you're doing everything you need to do as a business owner to monitor and maintain the appropriate plan and investments for your employees. Now, you are offloading all this to NJBIA, which is great, right? So notices go directly to plan participants, loan processing, distributions, anything your participant needs, they'll go directly to the 401k administrator, BCG Securities, located in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, along with the investment options as well. So they'll have a dedicated fiduciary financial advisor. Only 2% of 401ks in the country have a fiduciary advisor attached to them. And what that means, a fiduciary is someone who is by law must do what's in the best interest of the employee, right? So there are no commissions on any of these products. All recommendations are made with the employee's best interest. All right, and they take full responsibility for selecting and monitoring all the plan investments and funds. And then there's a step-by-step process that the board of directors and the fiduciary trustees go through on a quarterly basis to make sure that there's a process in place and we are fully implementing the process and everything is monitored appropriately. Now here is, all that stuff is great. The cost savings is great. The fiduciary protection is great. Here's where I believe this program really stands apart and stands aside. Most small businesses will not have an advisor attached to them, meaning there will be no employee education in terms of what a 401k is, why it's important to save, what are the primary benefits, how much should they save. So if you're a part of the NJBAA program, you'll have, like I mentioned, a dedicated financial advisor, fiduciary advisor, to help set up employee enrollment meetings. Explain, hey, this is the importance of signing up for a 401k. We're going to start on, say, July 1st. Here's how to get enrolled. We can enroll online. There's paper forms to enroll. We can set up one-on-one meetings in your offices or on Zoom for any employees that have specific questions. And this continues, right? This isn't just a one-time thing. This continues every 6 months, every year, as much as you like, in order for your employees to understand the benefits of their program. And then it continues on as we'll give you updates on your own individual accounts. And those advisors are also available for one-on-one sessions throughout the year to review their 401k, to recommend any changes on the investments, and do a full financial planning meetings with them and their family at no additional cost to the employees. So with everything I mentioned, right, all of the main benefits, in my experience with the 60, 70 companies that have joined the past 2 years, this has been the most important. This is what they really like to benefit from, because offering a 401k plan is one thing. Explaining the benefits to the employees and helping them get enrolled is really where it's really where they see the main benefit. And it's exceptionally cost effective. So similar to the healthcare program that NJBAA offers, this takes in a pooled account of all of the different members of the NJBAA program, right? So sometimes you may get audited as a 401k plan, and that cost is $8,000 to $12,000, $15,000 a year. That's eliminated. NJBAA, that cost is spread between all the different companies in the NJBAA program. You no longer need to buy your own Fidelity bond insurance, as we pick the cost up for that. The internal investment expenses are what are called institutional grade, meaning instead of needing $1 million to get into the program, we already have that, right? So you have the lowest possible internal investment expenses available. The administrative costs are significantly reduced. And a lot of the expense to running the plan day to day is eliminated. So it's a very, very, very significant cost savings, especially for small to mid-sized companies starting a 401k program. So very significant costs. And this isn't just for new programs. This can be for existing programs as well. So oftentimes when I'm speaking with an NJBAA member who already has a plan, the first thing we'll do is let's just do a cost side by side. Here's what you're currently paying. Here's what your expenses would be if you operated that plan under the NJBAA umbrella, right? And not only cost savings for you, but for your employees as well. So again, just to highlight a lot of the benefits of the NJBAA program, and I know there's not too many of you on here, and I'll follow up individually with each of you to see if you have any questions afterwards. But if you are exploring a retirement plan offering, expect something in the mail from the state of New Jersey at the beginning of the summer, right? When June 30 deadline comes across, you will have to start offering a 401k plan. Now they're going to give you a few months, right, before they start issuing any penalties. But that plan through the state of New Jersey, it is operated through New Jersey. You have no control over it as a business owner. You're not able to contribute yourself as a business owner. You're not able to match any of your employees, and you'd still have to operate, all payroll and everything else through your organization to help your employees out. And I'd be happy to walk through the vast benefits of a 401k versus an individual retirement account for your employees. So I encourage you to ask any questions if you have on, throughout this, if you have any questions. So NJBAA has a lot of great information, right? NJBAA.org. There is a MEP ebook that you can download at any time. Actually, I've made this a little bit easier for you. There's a QR code, so you can pull out your cell phone and snap a picture of this. It will bring you to the link where you can fill in your basic info and your email, and then we can get the ebook sent out to you. All right, I'll leave this up just for a second here. I'll show you what the ebook looks like, and we can physically mail out booklets as well. If you request information, I'd be happy to do that. If you put your address in there, I'll mail you out the booklets. All right. All my contact information is listed in here. It's also available on the booklet. It's also available on the NJBIA website. All right. And here is what this NJBIA retirement booklet looks like. So it outlines everything we discussed today, how it started, the assets in the program, but I do want to touch on a page here. So this is a general benchmark report, and this is what we'll do for companies that either have a 401k already or are looking to start up a 401k plan. And so this is a general cost of a 401k that has 35 employees with $250,000 total in the plan. So not a very large plan, looks like a startup plan, right? And this is what the traditional 401k, based on the 401k averages book, it comes out every year. The average cost to run a 401k between insurance, advisory fees, administrative fees, startup costs, et cetera. Then the average cost to run it for an NJBIA participant member. So it's about 40% of the cost. It's less than half the cost. And this is pretty standard. Most times when we run these benchmark reports, it comes out to less than half of the cost than if you wanted to start and run a 401k program on your own. Now, these costs are spread between the employer, right, and the employees based on the assets in the plan, right? So if you don't have any money in the plan and it's a startup, a lot of these costs are eliminated. But I wanted to show you this page and highlight it because this is what we come across very frequently on as we speak to participants and members when they want to see what the actual cost may look like. And the difference in the fees and how it makes over time for your employees, right? It's not just cost savings for you, but for your employees over time. So reducing your cost by 1% can have a really significant impact on employee savings over the course of their working year and long-term investment strategy, which we are happy to help them with. All right. I know there aren't too many of you. We only have maybe a dozen or so folks in here, but I want to open it up to questions because I know I covered a lot, and I know a lot of this information I discussed is not specific to each company individually, but I hope I touched on enough information that it at least piqued your interest or encouraged you to seek out some additional information about how this program works and how it might be a benefit to you and how we work with your payroll companies through NJBIA or how we can help with the healthcare program through NJBIA. But we are specifically here to help with the 401k and retirement plan offering. It's become increasingly popular now and important now as the Secure Choice Act has been passed and it's being implemented in 6 weeks. So by the end of this year, you will need to have a retirement program in place. I very strongly encourage you to look at the NJBIA offering because everything I've seen, it still maintains as the top offer for companies in New Jersey. Actually, the vast majority of companies in the program were not NJBIA members. They found the program through their advisor or through, they Googled best 401k program in New Jersey, came across it. And then they actually signed up to be an NJBIA member just to have access to this program. So as you're already NJBIA members, to me, this is one of the bigger no-brainers than the association benefits. I really encourage you to take a look at it. NJBIA themselves are also, they, like everything they offer, they also use this for their own membership. That's how we came on board with NJBIA. Their employees were actually using the NJBIA program through another association and decided to offer it to their members. So I want to open it up to questions. I know some folks, including maybe over at NJBIA, may have some questions. I know I covered a lot, and you're going to get a recording of this and these slides as well. But I really strongly encourage you to look at this and keep an eye out for the mailing from New Jersey, because if nothing is implemented, there will be penalties that are going to start being associated. And the penalties for the first year are already drastically higher than what the cost would be to run a 401k plan.
James, all great information. I did see one question come in that said, if my company has 20 employees, do I need to do anything?
No, you do not. No, right now the limit for New Jersey is 25 employees. There's nothing you need to do. However, it is included in part-time and seasonal. So if you have 20 employees in the summer, you hire 10 people and then fire them after 2 months, technically that counts as 30, and you will have to have a plan. This is for the state of New Jersey's program. New Jersey is not the first state to push this program. Massachusetts, California, Oregon, Washington, New York all have this program. I will say they started at 50, came down to 30, then down to 20. I think New York is now 15 employees. So at 20 employees, you do not need to offer a plan in New Jersey. My assumption is in a few years they'll lower the limit to 15 employees, and you will at that time. But right now you do not. I can tell you the cost straight ahead. It would be $2,000 a year to run a 401k plan if you have 20 employees. So the costs are very fixed. It's $85 per eligible employee with a minimum cost of $2,000 a year. And again, you get a $5,000 tax credit to start a 401k plan. So it should cover the vast majority of the cost for the first 3 years.
Great.
So if you have less than 23 employees, it's $2,000 a year.
Quite another question. We already have a plan. Would we be able to get the same investment lineup?
No. So the investment lineup is set here. You would not be able to use the investment lineup of your old plan if you do currently have a plan. Now, I can actually show you what the investment lineup is. Give me a second here. I can actually pull it up for us. We use a third-party rating agency called Morningstar FI360 to grade out and review all of the different investment options available in your 401k, in all 401k plans. So there's about 18,000 different investment options available in the United States in 401k plans. And this is the fund lineup that you would have available to you in the NJBIA program, right? This is as of the first of the month. So we offer a Vanguard option for all of your employees as well. If their goal is to keep the fees low, 5 basis points. All the expenses are listed here as well. I'll send this over to Katie so she can forward this out to you as well, so you can see the funds, how they perform, their fees, expenses, etc., along with the target date fund series. And we use like I said, a rating agency called Morningstar, and I'll pull this up and just give you a glimpse into what we do on our quarterly board of directors meeting on how we choose the funds that we're offering here. So I'd be happy to walk through this individually if you had questions as well. So this red line is our performance of the EANJ NJBIA program. These are the actual investment returns, this red line, gross performance of this program versus the peer group benchmark, which is this purple line. So over the course of the last year, 3-year, 5-year, 10-year, your investments net of fees in this program has performed over 1% a year better than the average 401k in the country. All right. And we sort the funds. The funds are graded on these 11 different criteria, and Morningstar breaks them down into a percentile of top performing funds. So we specifically can go through and choose what are the top funds available in each investment category, the top 1 percentile, and choose these funds in the program. So if a fund isn't performing well, we will switch them out. And as a business owner, again, I'll mention you're not fiduciarily responsible for this. There is nothing you need to do. This is done on a quarterly basis with the investment team and the board of directors, and these changes are made each quarter. So if you'll see a fund performing poorly, we will swap it out for the best performing fund at the lowest price available in the US marketplace, along with a Vanguard option. So we go through that process every quarter. That is one of the fixed options with this program. Because we are fiduciary protection, we can't have different fund lineups or investment lineups for all the different companies.
Great. Oh, does she have a question? James, how much money can my company get back by starting a plan?
$5,000 is the maximum. From what I've seen, it's very easy to qualify for that. So if you start a 401k, that's $2,500. If you have automatic enrollment, which is now a mandated law to have, so that's another $1,500, and then automatic escalation, it's $500. So the vast majority of new 401k plans get the full tax credit, and of course, any expenses you have are also deductible. So if you walk through it with your accountant, you'll realize, oh, the costs over time, your first 3 or 4 or 5 years are actually not using out-of-pocket expenses.
And how long does it take to implement a new plan?
Generally, from decision to first payroll is about 6 weeks.
The last question that I see right now was, when does this officially go into effect?
So the Secure Choice Act goes into effect June 30th. That's when letters go out. You'll then have 9 months before penalties are starting to be assessed from the state of New Jersey.
Great.
Again, this is very informational, right? I just want to stay ahead of it so no one's really caught off guard or surprised when those letters come out, and show you that we've been planning for this and we've created what we believe is a much better option for you.
Are there any other questions? Anyone want to jump in out there? Well, we're happy to give everybody some more time back in their day.
Yeah.
James, do you have any last words or thoughts for us?
No, I just encourage everyone to take advantage of the program, really. Even if it's not through us, I really, really believe that having a retirement plan for your employees is vital. And I know I speak with a lot of business owners, the top issues they're having is hiring and retention. And the youngest folks save the most. And it's very important to younger employees that they have an investment or 401k or some type of retirement savings vehicle available to them. NJBIA figured out a solution that would be the most beneficial for you as a business owner and your employees. They can save up to $22,500 a year, $30,500 a year if you're over the age of 50. You can match any way you like. You can fully customize the program exactly as you see fit as a business owner. So I just encourage everyone to take a look and take advantage of what they have offered to them.
Great. Thank you, James, so much. And as he had mentioned, NJBIA, we take advantage of all of our plans. And James probably sees my number come up more times than he wants, but they are very responsive. It's wonderful to know that you have a contact. You're not going to get lost in a phone system. So we appreciate that. And please don't forget, you'll be receiving a recording of today's program via email next week. Just a reminder, our next webinar, Mergers and Acquisitions Checkmeet, will take place on Wednesday, June 5th at 11 a.m. So by all means, please feel free to register for that at our website. And until next time, James at BCG Securities and myself and all of NJBIA, we thank you for being with us today, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
Thanks so much.